Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The Dietary Directives of Islam form a very important part of the Islamic Sharia, because a Muslim often comes across various situations in which he has to decide whether a certain thing is prohibited or not. Now, it is absolutely clear that the consumption of alcohol is absolutely prohibited in Islam. The question and the misconception that we are going to discuss today is that it is generally regarded that perfumes which contain alcohol, they are also prohibited, since alcohol is prohibited. Now, in this regard, if we study the various practices of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it becomes absolutely evident that the prohibition of a thing lies in its eating or drinking, particularly in such matters. And if some benefit can be achieved from that particular thing through some other means, then this is not prohibited at all. In other words, it is absolutely certain that consuming alcohol or drinking alcohol is prohibited. However, if that alcohol is used in perfumes, and those perfumes are used by some people or some Muslims, then this bears no label of prohibition. Now, this practice can be corroborated by a practice of the Prophet in which he regarded the hide of a dead goat to be consumed. It could be a consumable item. And he actually, when he passed by a dead goat, he actually questioned this, that why wasn't this, the hide, for example, of this dead goat used after being tanned. And people thought that since that the meat of a dead goat is disallowed, so therefore every other use of that dead goat or a dead animal is also disallowed. The Prophet on the contrary said that only the eating of such a meat is disallowed, and using the tanned hide of such an animal is not disallowed. This narrative occurs in the Sahih of Imam Muslim, and if I'll read out a simple translation of this narrative, which will throw light on the issue that we are discussing. It says that a goat was given in charity to Maimuna's maid. Maimuna radhiyallahu anha, we know, was one of the wives of the Prophet. And that goat died. And it so happened that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by that dead goat. And when he saw that dead goat, he said, would that he had taken its hide, tanned it, and then made use of it. People said, it is a dead animal. At this, the Prophet declared, only eating it is forbidden. So in other words, this whole practice of the Prophet has given us this principle that actually the eating of such animals is prohibited. The major use in which they are used in life. However, if we use such things for other purposes, then it is not prohibited at all. We know that the meat of a dead animal is prohibited, but it's only prohibited for eating. However, if that particular animal can be made use of in some other form, then this would bear no label of prohibition. So, on similar lines, analogously, we can say that, of course, alcohol consumption, drinking of alcohol is absolutely forbidden. However, if alcohol is used in perfumes, then using such perfumes would not be prohibited at all. Only, as I said, drinking alcohol is prohibited. In other words, in a nutshell, we can say that prohibited items for eating and drinking, if they are prohibited, then it is only in the area of eating and drinking that they are prohibited. If there can be some other use of those items in some other form, then such an activity would bear no label of prohibition. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات.